I still remember the way Ella's fingers trembled against mine that morning at the airport. 2 years. Just 2 years, we kept telling ourselves, as if repeating it would make the separation hurt less. Mia, please don't forget me, Ella whispered, her hazel eyes glistening with unshed tears. Her black hair fell across her face like a curtain, and I gently brushed it back, wanting to memorize every detail of her beautiful features. Those pink lips I'd kissed 1,000 times, the small freckle near her left eye. How could I ever forget you? I managed to say, my voice breaking. You're everything to me, Ella. Everything. We stood there in Terminal B, holding each other as travelers rushed past us with their rolling suitcases and coffee cups. The world moved on, but we were frozen in that moment, suspended between what was and what would be. 2 years, she said again, pressing her forehead against mine. Then you come home to me. Promise. I promise. I'll come back to you. Nothing will change what we have. The final boarding call echoed through the terminal. My heart felt like it was being ripped from my chest as I pulled away from her embrace. Ella's hands slipped from mine slowly, reluctantly, until only our fingertips touched. Then nothing. I picked up my carry-on bag, my pink hair swaying as I turned one last time to look at her. She was crying openly now, and it took everything in me not to run back and cancel everything. The scholarship, the master's program in London. All of it. But this was my dream, and Ella had insisted I chase it. I love you, I mouthed to her. I love you more, she mouthed back, pressing her hand to her heart. As I walked through the gate, I didn't know that the person waiting for me would be nothing like the one I'd left behind. The first few months in London were brutal. The city was beautiful, all cobblestone streets and red phone booths and museums on every corner, but it felt empty without Ella. My tiny flat near King's College was clean and modern, but it wasn't home. Home was wherever she was. We video called every day, sometimes twice. I'd wake up early to catch her before she went to bed in California, and she'd stay up late to talk to me during my lunch breaks. The 8-hour time difference was our enemy, but we fought against it with determination. I miss you so much it physically hurts, Ella said one night, her face pixelated on my laptop screen. She was lying in her bed. Our bed, the one we'd picked out together at IKEA 2 years ago. Show me what you're wearing, I teased, trying to lighten the mood. She laughed, that beautiful sound I craved. Mia, you're terrible. I'm serious. I want to see you. She sat up and pulled back the covers, revealing one of my old t-shirts, the faded concert tee from when we saw Hayley Kiyoko together. I sleep in your shirts every night. They still smell like you. My chest tightened. God, I want to kiss you so badly right now. Then kiss me, she said softly, pressing her fingers to her lips and then to the camera. I did the same, and we sat there like that, pretending our screens weren't separating us by 5,000 miles. I'm counting down the days until you come home, Ella said, her voice soft and sincere. I have a calendar and I mark off each day. 730 days total. I've already crossed off 92. My heart swelled. You're really keeping track? Of course I am. Every single day, without you feels like a year. But I know it'll be worth it when you come back to me. She smiled, and it looked so genuine, so full of love. We're going to have the most amazing reunion, Mia. I've been planning it in my head. I'm going to meet you at the airport with flowers, and we're going to go straight to the beach, and I'm never letting you go again. I can't wait, I whispered. Me neither, baby. Me neither. After we hung up, I felt more in love with her than ever. The months rolled by, and Ella remained my constant. While I navigated the challenges of graduate school, the demanding professors, the competitive classmates, the endless assignments, she was always there at the end of the day, ready to listen and support me. How did your presentation go? She asked one evening during our call. It was November now, 3 months since I'd left. It went really well, actually. Professor Mitchell said my consumer behavior analysis was one of the best he's seen. That's my girl. Ella beamed at me through the screen. I'm so proud of you, Mia. You're absolutely killing it over there. I couldn't do it without you, I said honestly. Knowing you're waiting for me, that we have our future to look forward to. It keeps me going. I'll always wait for you, she said, and her hazel eyes were so sincere I felt guilty for ever doubting her, even for a second. You're worth waiting a lifetime for. I'd made friends at school, Yuki from Japan, Marcus from Germany, and Priya from India, and we formed a tight study group. They invited me out to pubs and clubs, and while I went occasionally, I always made sure Ella knew where I was and what I was doing. Winter arrived, and London became a gray watercolor painting of rain and fog. The holiday season was particularly hard, our first Christmas apart. Ella and I had matching ugly Christmas sweaters we'd planned to wear, but instead, we wore them on a video call, drinking hot chocolate in our respective time zones. Open your present, Ella urged, her face excited on my screen. I unwrapped the box she'd shipped to me weeks earlier. Inside was a beautiful silver necklace with 2 interlocking hearts. Ella, it's perfect. One heart is you, one is me, she explained. Even though we're apart, we're still connected. Always. I put it on immediately and never took it off. Now open yours, I said. She tore into the package I'd sent and pulled out a leather journal. Oh, Mia, it's for you to write down all your thoughts, all the things you want to tell me, but maybe can't find the words for. And look at the first page. She opened it, and her eyes welled with tears. I'd written, for Ella, my forever love, until we're together again, and then for always after that. Love, Mia. I love you so much, she said, crying happy tears. God, I can't wait to hold you again. Only 548 days left, I said, having kept my own count. Only 548 days, she echoed. We fell asleep on video call that night, neither of us wanting to hang up. Spring semester started, and I was officially past the halfway point. 1 year down, 1 to go. The end was in sight, which somehow made the separation both easier and harder. Easier because I could see the finish line. Harder because I wanted to be there already. Ella's messages were consistently sweet and encouraging. Good morning, beautiful.
Crush that exam today.
I know you will. Just saw a couple holding hands and thought of us. Soon, baby.
Soon.
Made your favorite pasta tonight and pretended you were here to share it with me. The apartment feels so empty without you. Counting down. 401 days until I can kiss you again. I cherished every message, screenshotting the especially sweet ones to read when I was feeling low. During this time, I'd occasionally mention my old best friend Sarah in passing. How's Sarah doing? I asked during one call. I haven't heard from her in a while. Oh, you know Sarah, Ella said with a casual shrug. She's been pretty busy with work. I think she mentioned her and Marcus broke up, so she's probably going through that. That's too bad. Maybe you could check on her? I feel bad being so far away when she's probably going through a hard time. Sure, I can do that, Ella said easily. Don't worry about things here, Mia. Just focus on your studies. Everyone's fine, and we'll all be here when you get back. It never occurred to me that checking on Sarah would turn into something else entirely. Why would it? I trusted Ella completely. Summer came and went, and I entered my final year of the program. The workload intensified thesis research, final projects, job applications. Ella remained supportive through it all, though I noticed our calls became slightly less frequent. But that was understandable. She worked full-time, and I was drowning in schoolwork. When we did talk, she was still the loving, devoted girlfriend I'd left behind. I saw the cutest apartment the other day, she told me during one October call. 2 bedrooms, great kitchen, close to the beach. I was thinking maybe we could move in together when you get back? Like, really officially live together? My heart soared. Really? You want that? Of course I do. Mia, I've been waiting 2 years for you. When you come back, I want to start our real life together. No more distance, no more screens between us. Just us. I want that too, I said, tears of happiness streaming down my face. God, Ella, I love you so much. I love you more. Always will. During my final semester, Ella started sending me care packages, my favorite snacks from home, handwritten letters, small gifts. Each package came with a note counting down the days. I kept every single note, every letter. They were proof that we'd made it, that our love had survived the ultimate test of distance and time. I graduated in late July with distinction. My parents flew over for the ceremony, bursting with pride. They asked about Ella constantly. "She must be so excited for you to come home," my mom said as she helped me pack up my flat.
She is.
"We've been planning my return for months." "Are you going to surprise her?" my dad asked. I paused, considering. Ella had said she wanted to pick me up from the airport, the very day I will be back, but the idea of surprising her was so romantic. Showing up at her door with flowers, sweeping her into my arms after 2 long years apart. Actually, yeah. I think I will surprise her. I want to see her face when she realizes I'm really home. My mom smiled. She's going to be over the moon. I booked my flight for early August, a full week before I told Ella I'd be returning. It would give me time to settle in, and then I'd show up at her apartment and surprise her. I imagined her reaction 1,000 times. The shock, the tears of joy, the way she'd jump into my arms. I imagined everything except the truth. I spoke with Ella that morning before I flew back to California, but never told her I was coming that day. Los Angeles welcomed me home with sunshine and the familiar smell of the ocean. I'd landed on a Saturday morning, a perfect day for surprises. Everything felt surreal, the traffic on the 405, the warmth of the California sun. 2 years away, and yet everything looked exactly the same. I went to my parents' house first, dumping my suitcases in my childhood bedroom. My mom made me pancakes while my dad showed me his vegetable garden. They kept glancing at me with knowing smiles, excited co-conspirators in my surprise plan. "When are you going to see her?" my mom asked, unable to contain her excitement. "This afternoon." "I want to get flowers first." I showered, did my makeup carefully, and changed into a sundress Ella had always loved, soft pink with white flowers. I wanted to look perfect for our reunion. I stopped at the flower shop on Sunset Boulevard and bought an enormous bouquet of pink roses and white lilies, Ella's favorites. The florist made it extra special, with silk ribbons and baby's breath tucked between the blooms. "Someone's going to be very happy," the florist said with a warm smile. "I hope so," I replied, butterflies exploding in my stomach. As I drove to Ella's apartment, my hands trembled on the steering wheel. 2 years. 730 days. I dreamed of this moment countless times, being back in LA, being minutes away from holding her again. I parked outside her building, the modest 3-story structure with appealing blue paint and the jacaranda tree out front. Everything looked exactly as I remembered. I climbed the stairs to apartment 2B, my heart pounding so hard I could barely breathe.
At her door, I paused.
Should I knock? No, I still had my key, the one she'd given me on our first anniversary. "My home is your home," she'd said. Always. I quietly slid the key into the lock, turned it slowly, wanting to preserve every second of this moment. The knob twisted in my hand. I pushed the door open gently, a huge smile on my face, ready to call out surprise. But the word died in my throat. Because there, on Ella's couch, our couch, the one we'd bought together and made so many memories on, was Ella. And she wasn't alone. She was straddling someone, kissing them deeply, passionately. Her hands were tangled in their hair, their bodies pressed together in a way that was unmistakably intimate, sexual. My Ella. My girlfriend of 4 years. The woman who'd sent me countdown messages. The woman who'd said she was waiting for me. The woman who'd made plans for our future together. And the person she was kissing, the person whose hands were all over her body, was Sarah, my best friend. The same Sarah who'd sent me a message just last week saying she missed me and couldn't wait for me to come home. The flowers slipped from my hands and hit the floor with a soft thud that seemed to echo in the sudden silence. They both froze. Ella's head whipped around toward the door, her eyes going wide with absolute horror. Sarah's face appeared from behind Ella, her expression guilty, but also caught, like a deer in headlights. For a moment, nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Then 3 pairs of eyes met, mine filling with tears that were already spilling over. Ella's wide with panic and shock, and Sarah's showing unmistakable guilt.